So let's start the session. Okay. So in the previous session, guys, we were discussing about our Entra ID. Like whenever we are having multiple users, when these users are requesting to have access to our Azure cloud portal, so then how are we going to ensure like we are enabling the access for multiple users, and how do we ensure like we are granting the privileges for these users? So as part of our privileges, so we have three categories of permissions, which includes what are the different privileges, guys? Your RBAC permissions, read, contributor, and then owner.
Owner.
Good. So now, what are the different scopes, guys? At what level that we can assign these? So we can assign at the subscription level, or else we can assign at our resource group level, or we can assign at your resource level. So these are all the three different levels that we can assign these roles. Now, in order to understand this one, we go ahead and we try to create couple of resources. So what we do, guys, we go ahead and we try to create a couple of resources. So now what exactly we are going to do? Let's see. So as part of our architecture, guys, this is the architecture that which we are going to design right now. So I'm going to create a virtual machine. I'm going to create what? I'm going to create a virtual machine where this virtual machine is going to be part of a resource group one. And I will create a second virtual machine, which is going to be part and parcel of my resource group two. So overall, what we are going to do, we are going to create a two virtual machines in two different resource groups. Now these two resource groups are part and parcel of my Azure subscription. Are part and parcel of my Azure subscription. Now let's imagine like I'm going to create a user called Suresh. Imagine a situation that Suresh is a new user who is joining as part of my organization and he's part of my team. Now Suresh is raising a request. Suresh is raising a request. So first of all, what I need to do, I have to ensure like Suresh user ID is existing. Once we have a Suresh user existing in the Azure cloud, now I need to give him the privilege. So what are the different privileges, guys? Privileges is like what exactly this candidate or who exactly this user is. Is he belongs to a DevOps team? Is he belongs to a development team? Is he belongs to a testing team? So based upon that, I have to grant him the respective privilege. So let's start the work, guys. Let's try to implement this one by one and see what is going to happen. Okay. So this is the overall scope, guys. So before we start our journey, what we are going to do is like we will go ahead and we will log into our Azure subscription and we will try to create two different virtual machines. So this I'm going to run or I'm going to execute it as a root user. So first I will go ahead and I will try to log into my Azure cloud and I will search for a service called virtual machine. What is our service, guys? I'm going to call a service called virtual machine. Click on that. Guys, at this point of time, don't worry that, sir, what is virtual machine, sir? Why we are creating it? You know, how this virtual machine is going to work. All these things are a little bit out of scope, guys, for today. But when we complete our Microsoft Entra ID, when we enter into your virtual machines topic, that time I will explain you clearly what is this, why we are going to use, what are the different options available. All those things we will explore it. But in order to understand the privileges with regards to an user, I need some infrastructure. So hence what am I doing? I'm creating initial infrastructure. Like I will go ahead, click on the create button, click on the Azure virtual machine. So go to this click create button and then click on the create a virtual machine. Now I'm going to create a resource group. So see here, whenever you want to create any resource, whenever you want to create any resource in Azure, you cannot create it directly. You have to have resource group. So here you have star mark. What is this a star mark represents, guys? It means like mandatory field. It means mandatory field. Now I will click on create a new. I'll click on create a new. I'm going to say like batch 1 KSR RG1. What am I going to define, guys? I'm going to create a KSR batch 1 resource group 1. Click on OK. This is what? This is my batch 1 resource group 1. Now I'm going to define my server name. I will say server name as server 1. Server name as server 1. Come down. Forget about all other options, guys. We don't need to worry about all other options at this point of time. The only thing you need to observe is authentication type. I am selecting password based authentication. Here I will give my username and password. I will say like KSR admin and I will give respective password. So come down, click on review and create. Come down, click on review and create. So here what am I doing guys? I'm going ahead, I'm creating a resource group called batch1 RG1. Under batch1 RG1, I'm creating one server. So go ahead and try to click on review and create. And there's a small information guys that which you need to remember. So Azure Cloud, it is little bit slow when compared to other clouds. The way how your resource provisioning which is going to happen in Azure is little bit slow when you compare with the other public clouds. So just be patient enough. So till it completes, you just have some patience and let it complete. Guys, if you are not speaking, please keep it on mute, please. Let me mute the guys. How I can mute it. Okay, good. So now let's hear guys. Now this is my server one. Now what we need to create? We need to create one more server. Again, same story. Go to the search, click on the virtual machines, go to the create, and I'll select Azure virtual machine. So this time I will select resource group. I'll say KSR batch one. I'll say resource group two. Click on OK. Come down, and in the naming conventions, I'll say server two. I'll say server 2. So come down, 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 down. Just select the password. In the password section, I'll give my username and then I'll give the password. So come down, finally click on review and create.
So hi Shan. So what are the different subscriptions we have?
Different subscriptions
Like
like,
now it is showing pay as you go. So do you have any other
okay.
subscriptions?
Yes, sir. We are having a free tier account and we have a
Hmm.
student tier account as well. So three different subscription types that we have. Let
Hmm.
this complete, sir. I will show you. Okay. I will show you like
Sure,
what are the different types that we have.
sure. Thank you.
Mm, good. So let me click on the create button, guys. Okay. So now, before we proceed further, I have a small doubt. Imagine like I'm going to purchase a laptop. You all are familiar with laptop, right? Whenever you guys are purchasing a laptop, can any one of you tell me what are the different components that you have inside in your laptop? This is my laptop. What are the different components you feel like you have inside a laptop?
RAM,
Motherboard,
hard disk,
RAM,
motherboard,
RAM, good. Then
processor,
hard
hard
disk,
hard
disk,
disk,
very nice. You're going to have processor. Then
motherboard,
motherboard, very nice. Then
Key.
keyboard, okay, good, nice. Only that, how you guys are browsing, what you should have?
Operating system.
Operating system, well and good. Then, how you guys are browsing, you need to have?
Internet.
Good.
Network.
So how your internet is working, you need to have your network card. So here, if you observe carefully, guys, what am I purchasing? I'm purchasing only laptop, right? I'm purchasing only laptop. But whenever I purchase a laptop, what are the different components that I'm getting? All these are all the different components that I'm getting. So hope you guys will agree with me. When I purchase the laptop, all these components, are we getting it, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Likewise, whenever I create a virtual machine, whenever I create a virtual machine, along with my virtual machine, what are the different other components that are getting created, guys? See here. Whenever I try to create my virtual machine, what are the different components that are getting created? I see that my virtual machine is getting created. Well and good. Along with that, my network is getting created. Along with that, a public IP address is getting created. Along with that, network security group is getting created. Along with that, network is getting created. So whenever you purchase a laptop, it doesn't mean that okay, only laptop you will be getting it. Nothing like that. Along with your laptop, what you get other components as well. Whether you like it or not, those components will be coming. So without that, it will not be functional. Without that, it will not be functional. So likewise, whenever you are creating any virtual machine, along with your virtual machine, what are the other components that you will be getting? You will be getting its network interface, you will be getting its public IP address, you will be getting its network, you will be getting its a hardware, you'll be getting its a storage. Whether you like it or not, those things will come. So hope the comparison is clear for you. So now let's start our journey, guys. Imagine a situation that I got a new user. So see here, who is this new user? My new user is Suresh. My new user is Suresh. Now what do we have? We have two resource groups. We have two resource groups. So this is my resource group 1 and this is my resource group 2. Under the resource groups, I have my virtual machine 1 and I have my virtual machine 2. Okay. Now Suresh is a user. He came to me and he started asking, hey Sean, recently I have joined, man. What he's telling me? He's telling me, Sean, recently I have joined the organization. Can you please help me out with the access? Can you please help me out with the access? I told him like, okay, do you have any other requirement apart from this? I clearly asked. What did I ask? I asked Suresh, Suresh, do you have any other requirement apart from this? He told me like, no, Shan, this is the requirement. I need access. I need access. Good. Now, in a real environment, whenever you guys are working, the request is going to come in this way, guys. So how the request is going to come? Your requester will come to you. This is whom? This is my requester. So what this requester will do is like, he will go ahead and he will create a ServiceNow request for you. He will use what? He will either use a ticketing tool called ServiceNow or he will be using a tool called Jira. He will use a tool called ServiceNow or he will use a tool called Jira. Now what he's going to do? He will go ahead and he will raise a request for you. He will go and he will raise a request. Raise a request. So using these tools, he will go and he will create a request. And now I will tell him like, okay, man, do you have any request with you or not? Without request, in general, I don't do the work. So what is the thumb rule, guys? Thumb rule is like, whenever you want to work in real time, you have to ask, first of all, what is the request ID? What is the request ID? If he provides the request ID, then only we will take the work. Now what this guy is going to do? He will create a request to me. Now this request is going to assign to me. So who am I? I'm a DevOps engineer. So now this request, what will happen? This request will come and this request will be assigned on to my name or whomever is available on the floor. So for that guy, the ticket will be assigned. So see here what is going to happen. So this is my user. So this request, what we will do, we'll go ahead and we will pick it. So now in the request, requester. So who is the requester guy in our case? In our case, Suresh is the requester. So Suresh will give all the information, what exactly he needed in the request. He will have all the information. Now I received the request. Now what am I going to do? I will go ahead and I will log into the cloud. Where I will go? I'll go to my Azure cloud. So this is my Azure cloud. So once I got my request, I will see the request. Okay, what is there in this? Okay, we got a new request that new user called Suresh. He have a recently joined and he need an access. Then what I will do? I will go ahead and I will log into my Azure account or Azure portal. So once I logged into the Azure portal, can anyone tell me guys which service will facilitate me in creating the users?
Entra ID.
Good. So now I will go ahead and I will choose my Azure Entra ID, or we say Azure Active Directory. Earlier we used to call it as Active Directory. These days we are calling it as Entra ID. So now once I log into the Azure, I'll go and I will select my service called Entra ID. What is this service guys? This service is my Entra ID. So now after I select my Entra ID, then what am I going to do? From the Entra ID, I will choose an option. What is the option? Option is create a user. I'll say, okay, man, I need to select an option called create a user. Now, once I select my create a user, so then what am I going to do? I will go ahead and I'll create a user called Suresh. So Suresh user gets created. So I'm going to create the user, create a user. Now, once this guy got created, I will go ahead and I will share his credentials. So login credentials like email ID and then temporary password. So what are we going to do? I'll go ahead and I'll say like, okay, man, these are all your temporary credentials. Suresh, please take care. Now, if you observe carefully, guys, this is the end-to-end workflow that which you guys are going to follow once you joined an organization. So if you see the flow, guys, how the flow is going to happen. So here, a requester will come. My requester, he will come, and what he will do? He will go ahead and he will raise a request saying like, okay, man, Sean, I need to have so and so account. So let me increase the font, guys. Just give me a sec. Okay. So now what Suresh is going to do? First thing, Suresh will go and he will raise a service now request. After that, that request will be generated. After that, this request will be assigned to me. After that, I'll go ahead and I'll try to log into the Azure cloud. After I log in, I go ahead and I select my Entra ID. After that, I'll go ahead and then I'll create a user. And then finally, after done with the work, I'll go ahead and I'll share the credentials with Suresh user. Now, once Suresh user receives the credentials, any guess, guys, what he is going to do? Any guess what Suresh is going to do after receiving credentials?
Tries to log in.
Good.
Azure portal.
He will go to the Azure portal and he will try to access it. You need to validate, right? You need to verify whether he is having access or not. So now what Suresh will do? Finally, Suresh will go ahead and Suresh will try to log into the Azure portal. He will go and he will try to log into the Azure portal. So this is what this is E8. So here what he is going to do? He will go ahead and he will verify whether he can able to log in or not. So verify login. Okay. So this is the work, guys, that which we are going to do it initially. Let's start the work. So now imagine like Suresh have raised the request. Suresh have raised the request and I am a DevOps engineer and I received the request. So who am I? This is my DevOps or cloud platform engineer. DevOps or cloud platform engineer. I got a request. Now what I'll do, I'll go ahead and I'll try to log into the Azure portal. I did it. I logged into the Azure portal. Then what did I do? I went and I searched for my service called Entra ID. I went ahead and I searched for Entra ID, Microsoft Entra ID. Search for Entra ID. So now under the Entra ID, you have a manage button. Click on this. You have a manage button. You can click on this. Under this, I have a button called users. I have a button called users. So now I'll go ahead and I'll say like create a new user. Create what? Create a new user. Now I will go ahead and I will select my user. What is the username? Username is Suresh. Username is Suresh. So Suresh already in my subscription, the account is there. I'll say the name as KSR-Suresh. I'll give the username as what? KSR-Suresh. Now under the display name, I'll give the same display name. The username is KSR hyphen. It won't look that good, guys. I'll remove it. I'll keep it KSR Suresh. So now open a notepad. So KSR Suresh is the user. And then this is a temporary password. Click on this icon, copy the password. So this is what? This is my temporary password. This is my user. Now come down. Click on next properties. I don't need all these things. Click on review and create. Now what is the username, guys? Username is KSR Suresh. What is the email ID? This is the email ID. This is what? This is the email ID. So now you can able to see here, like this is the default domain name. This is the default domain name that which Azure is giving to the customers. But when you guys are joining any organization, guys, are you going to get a default name like this, or are you going to get your company name? What do you
Company
get?
name.
If you guys are part of any organization, let's say like you're part of HCL.com, or if you're part of a HCL, then my email address should be like suresh@hcl.com. If you guys are joining any company, let's say like KSR Vision, Data Vision, if you guys are joining, so then your mail address is going to be suresh@ksrdatavision.com. So this we call it as what? Domain. So in the future sessions, I will explain you how do we purchase a domain, how do we integrate our domains with Azure AD, how do we create a user accounts with the domain based credentials. All those things we will discuss in the future sessions. But for today, just consume the default domain what Azure is giving. In the later point of time, in the future classes, I will explain you. I will explain you how you guys are going to create your own domains. Let's say like in my case, I'm having my own domain, like a seandevops.online. So how I can integrate that for my user credentials, user login, creating my own customized emails, all those things we will learn in this course. Okay. Now, with regards to the password, this is the password. Finally, I will click on create. Now, as part of our architecture, what did we do, guys? We went ahead. I'm a DevOps. I logged in to the Azure. I went to Entra ID. I created the user. I have generated the credentials for the user. Now, these are all the credentials which I'm going to share it with the Suresh. With whom I'm going to share? I'm going to share with the requester. Do we have any security breach, guys, here? I know the password of Suresh, right? Is it a security breach? What do you feel? Do we know what is the password for Suresh?
Yes, kind of reach on, yes.
At this point of time, do we know what is the password of Suresh user?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
But is it a permanent?
It's a temporary
No.
password.
Is a temporary, which means like whenever you are giving any temporary password to a user, when the user for the first time when he try to log in, it will enforce that the password is getting changed at any cost of time.
Yes.
What will happen, guys? Temporary password is just for temporary, means like when you try to log in for the first time, it will enforce you to change it at any cost. Let's see what will happen. Now I am done with my work. Suresh came to me. Suresh asked me, like, man, Sean, I need to have an access. I told him, like, boss, I have created it. I am done with the work. Then what I will do, whatever the request that which I have received, I will close it. Whatever the request that I have received, I will go ahead and I'll close it. I am done with the work. So this is my user creation. Okay, just give me 1 second, guys. Let me see whether this flow is there or not. Okay. I don't have this flow in the architecture. Okay, good then. Yeah, anyhow, I'll share this one with you after completing today's class. And then what do we have? We have our, this flow is there. Good. Fine. So now we are good to go, guys. Now what? Final step, Suresh will go and Suresh will log into the Azure portal and he will verify his access. He will verify his access. Good. Now, if I am opening one more tab, let's say like I'll go ahead and I'll call portal.azure.com. If I open one more tab, with what user it will get login, guys? Any guess? Is it asking me to enter my credentials?
No.
No.
No. So now funny part is like I am the requester and I am the implementer. So hence I cannot use the same browser. To validate Suresh credentials, I cannot use the same browser because if I use the same browser, I will be always logging into the same email address. So hence, what am I going to do? I'll go ahead and I'll use my Firefox. Or you can use your Edge. You can use Edge. Anything is fine. So hope you understand why I am taking another browser. Now I will say like portal.azure.com. Now here I am going to validate. Now when I say like it is nothing but my Suresh user. Now Suresh will validate his credentials. I told like, hey Suresh, you are given a privileges, man. Okay, you got temporary password, you got your credentials, man. Go and jump onto the Azure cloud and do whatever you want. Suresh is thinking like, okay, man, I got a credentials, I'll do whatever I want now. Okay, it's been so many days. Let me try to create the infrastructure and then see how things are going to work. So Suresh is so excited. Suresh is so excited. Now he is going to log into the Azure portal. What's happening? He's going ahead and he is trying to log into the portal. So click on next. So what it is asking is, it is asking me mandatory that I to enable the multi-factor authentication. It's asking me, hey man, Sean, there is an action required. Oh, sorry, hey Suresh, there is an action required. What is an action required, guys? So must and should, I need to enable the multi-factor authentication. So let it load. So it is asking me, it's asking me, would you like to continue? If you want to continue, enable the multi-factor authentication. For security purpose, it's mandatory, guys, that in Azure that you have to enable this. Okay. Now, how are you going to enable this one? You can use Microsoft Authenticator, guys. So in your Android or in your iPhone, you can go ahead and you can install Microsoft Authenticator. And in the Microsoft Authenticator, you can click a plus button. So that will look like this, guys. So Microsoft on the images. So you see here. So this is your screen. this browser? I'll say like, okay. So now you see here, guys. So this is how your browser is going, or your image is going to look like. Let me show you the image. Okay, yeah. So here, if you zoom in, you have a plus button here. You see, there is a plus button. There is a small plus button. Just click on this plus button, and then you start registering it. Download your Microsoft Authenticator app, and then just click on that plus button. Once you click on that plus button, it will ask you whether it is a personal, work, or a school or account, something, right? Just click on personal account. Just click on personal account. The moment you click on the personal account, it will ask you scan the QR code. Click on the next button here. So now I will say like next. So now what is telling me? It's telling me like to scan the QR code. So now in the application, click the button scan QR code, and go ahead and scan the QR code in your mobile application. Just a moment, guys. I'm unable to scan it in the mobile. It's not working. Just want to see why it is not working. Okay. Okay, otherwise I'll just go ahead and I'll select enter the code manually. Can't scan the image. Okay, so now what I can do is like I can go ahead and I can paste the code, but it is too headache. Mm. So let me send these details to my mail, guys. Some issue with my mobile, I don't know why. Ideally it should work, but yeah, let me see, guys, here. So I can send this to my mail and I copy paste to my mobile. Okay, that's good. So just give me a sec. I go ahead and I'll try to register it. Oh, wait. And I'll say like a finish. Okay, good then. So now I'm done with my registration part, guys. Now what I'll do, where is this one? Yeah, it is. So now I'm done with my registration part. Okay, now I'll click on next. I'm done with what? I'm done with the registration. So now the moment I click on the next in my mobile application, so it is going to send me an error code. Sorry, a login code, guys, not error code. My bad. So it is going to send me a code. So now I need to type the same code 38 in my mobile, and then I need to approve it. So the moment I approved my code, it is going to entertain our KSR Suresh to log into the portal. So now notification is approved. Click on next. Click on done. Security wise, Microsoft is very, very good, guys. So they are very strong. So now what is happening, guys? Finally, my user. Who is the user? My user is KSR Suresh. So Suresh user have successfully logged into the account. I'll say like get started. Click on skip. Start the tour. I'll say like close. Now you tell me my user have successfully logged into the Azure cloud. Now can he do anything whatever he want in the Azure cloud? What do you
No.
feel?
Yes. Yes,
Can
we
he
can
do?
do.
Ah,
No,
so
No.
he can do anything? Are you really sure?
no.
Good.
Yes.
So now when Suresh have logged in, he can't do anything, guys. Poor fellow, he was he was given only the email ID and password. At any point of time during the account creation, did we granted him any privilege, guys? Okay, Suresh will do wonders, Suresh will do work with this service, Suresh will do that. Anywhere did we specify anything during the account creation?
No.
No. So what did we do? We simply went ahead and we just created only Suresh account. So after verification, will realize Suresh will realize that he just got only read only access. So finally, Suresh realized realized what? Realized he got only read only, or he got only login access, where he can't do he can't perform any actions. Now, why do we use Entra ID, guys? Entra ID will be useful for me only for the user creation. Entra ID is used only for the user creation. Because if you observe carefully, whenever I'm creating the user, anywhere did it ask, okay, this user, yet what level that this user should have access, at the subscription level, at the resource group level, at the resource level? Did it mention anywhere? Did we get such kind of an options, guys, even during the user creation time?
No.
Nowhere. Which means what you guys need to understand is like, whenever we are trying to create any user in your Azure cloud, Intra ID service will facilitate you only for creating users. Only for creating users. Now Suresh felt very bad. He felt very bad that, man, what is this, Sean? I was not expecting this from you. He will write one big email to me stating like, man, what is this? You have created just my email address. You created just my email address. I can't do anything in this account. Now the question now the question is like, I will respond back to Suresh and I will ask him like, Suresh, what kind of an access that you expect? Any point of time during the request, when he tried to raise a request, did he mention that what kind of an access that he is expecting? Hmm? Anywhere did he
No.
mention, guys, by any chance?
No.
No, he didn't mention. Then why I should give him access? Then why I should give him access, guys? So now point that you guys need to be noted is like, once you guys joined any new organization, once you joined any new project, it is your responsibility to ask your access properly. Sir, what do you mean by properly, sir, here? What do you mean by properly? It means that you have to explicitly specify that who are you, what you are going to do, what kind of an access that you are expecting to have. Now during the conversation, I responded back to Suresh telling him like, man, you didn't mention anywhere, I didn't give you. Quite simple. Now Suresh will again come back to me and he will tell me like, no, 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 Shan, no, man, I belongs to. Now he is telling me the story. What he's telling me, he's telling like, okay, man, I belongs to application team 1, and I need to have access to server 1. Now what is asking? He's asking me, Sean, I have logged in, man. See, very unfortunate, I didn't mention it, man. I was not aware. But when I tried to log into my account, I was just going ahead and I was searching for a service called virtual machine. service called virtual machine. When I click on virtual machine, man, I don't see anything. Can you please help me with the privileges to have my server 1? I need access to server 1. Again, here also, I should be very polite in conveying that what kind of a privilege that I need it, whether I need read, or I need owner, or I need contributor. Now these three privileges, at what level now he is requesting, guys? Is he requesting at resource group level or at a resource level?
Resource.
Good. These permissions he is asking at resource level, which means my RBAC, where it will be available, guys? Is it going to be available in the Entra ID, or is it going to be available at my resource level? Where do you feel now? Here or here? Any guess?
At a resource level.
Good. So your RBAC will be available here. Like I told you, Entra ID is used only for creating your user accounts. Apart from that, we don't have any use case of Entra ID. Other teams, they have use cases of your Entra ID, like your AD team, like your messaging team, like your application, integration teams, apps team. They have use cases of Entra ID. But as a DevOps, we don't have much use cases here. So for us, what is the use case? Creating the user. I created the user. Next what? Next, I need to grant the privilege at the server level. Now let's see the architecture, guys. So now what's happening? Suresh came to me, and Suresh, he started asking me, hey man, Sean, can you please give me the privileges to the virtual machine 1, who is part and parcel of a resource group 1? Who is a part and parcel of resource group 1? Now I will say, okay man, definitely. Don't worry, I will give. Now what I have to do? I have to go ahead and I have to log into the Azure cloud. I'll go and I'll try to log into the Azure cloud. Now once I go to the Azure cloud, now I need to provide the privileges. Now where I should go, guys? Should I go to the Entra ID or should I go to the virtual machine? Tell me the answer fast.
Virtual machine.
Good. Go to virtual machines. To what virtual machine? So he is expecting me to give the access for server 1. I'll
Server
go to the
1.
server 1. So now under the server 1, you have a option called access control. You see, there is an option called access control. Now click on the access control. Click on the access control. Now I'm going to define, add a role assignment. What I'll say, I'll go ahead and I'll say like add a role assignment. Now under the role assignment, so it is going to ask me like, hey, what kind of a privileged access that you are providing, man? You want to give read only? This is what? This is reader. Or else, are you planning to give him owner privilege, or are you planning to give him contributor? What is the privilege that you are going to assign? I'm telling him like, okay man, I will assign contributor. I'm going to assign contributor. Click on next. Now, to whom I'm going to assign? I'll say select the members. So who is the user? User is my KSR Suresh. Search for that. KSR Suresh. Now this is my user. I will say select. Now I'm granting privilege to my KSR user. I'll select next. Now finally I'll say review and assign. I'll say review and assign. Now what are we doing? We are going ahead and we are providing a privilege to our KSR Suresh user. What access? Access is contributor. Now the question here is like, I have server 1. Now I would like to know, who are and all the users have access to this server. I'll repeat the statement again, guys. I would like to know who are and all the users have access to this server in the management console. Management console is nothing but what? My Azure portal. Portal.azure.com is my management console. Now, how do we verify? Click on the roles section. Under the roles, you will come to know which user, what kind of a privilege is he holding. Now, when I come down, you can able to see, go to the role assignments, guys. Go to the role assignments. Under the role assignments, you will clearly see which user is having what sort of privileges. So now I can able to search for my KSR Suresh. I just want to see Suresh, what privilege that he's having. So you can clearly see like I have Suresh user who is having contributor onto this rows, onto this resource. So now finally we granted the permission. Now what I'll do, I'll go ahead. So this is my KSR Suresh. Now I informed Suresh, hey Suresh, I gave you contributor access man for this particular server. You go and you access the server. So he will come and he will refresh it. Now what is happening? Suresh, can he able to see the server, guys? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is visible. Now, total how many servers that we have? Total how many servers we
Servers?
created, guys? Hmm? You remember total how many servers we
Mm,
created?
two servers.
2.
2 servers. But can he able to see other server?
No.
No. Which means we are properly granting the privileges for this user. Now, I do have one more question for you. One more question is like, along with my server, did I get any other resources? Do you remember that
Uh,
this is my server 1. So do I get any other extra resources along with my server 1?
No.
yes,
No,
yes.
you didn't get it. Sure. Hmm? No, let's see. So I am going to log in as a root user. I will go and I will select my server. I will click on overview. When I click on overview, I see hmm, guys, I'll give you 1 minute time. See the screen and mark down what are the different options that you see in the console. With regards to server 1, what are the different things that you observe? You can take 1 minute time and just walk through the screen and observe what do you have for server 1. Good. Now tell me guys, what do you have on the console for the server 1? Anyone?
Uh, Size operating system, virtual
Size,
network,
operating system. Good. Then what?
IP address, and virtual network.
Nice. You see virtual network, right?
Virtual network subnet.
You see public IP address, right?
Yes.
Good. So now remember this carefully. Remember this carefully. Now, via which user we are seeing these details?
Sean.
Root user.
Root
Root
user.
user. Now I will go to Suresh user. For Suresh, at what level we granted the privilege, guys?
Contributor
Contributor is the type of the access. At
or
what level we
Resource
gave
level.
him?
resource level.
At resource level. Now he is going and he is selecting the server 1. Now, can he able to see what a root user can see?
No.
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 No IP.
Why?
No IP address.
No IP, no virtual
No
network,
virtual networks.
no DNS name, nothing. What this poor fellow got the access? He just got the access for only server. But along with the server, what are the different components that we used to get? Along with the server, we get components like network interface, we get public IP address, we get subnet, we get vnet, we get storage. Now all are what? All these all are again services in Azure, which means if I go to my Azure portal and if I start searching vnet, vnet is a what? Vnet is again a resource. I will say network interface. Network interface is what? Network interface is again a resource. I'll say public IP address. So again, public IP address is a what? It's again a resource. Now, did we give this guy to have privileges at a public IP, at your network interface, at your VNet? Did we give him?
No.
No.
No. So since we didn't give, this guy is failing to fetch those details. Now, if you go to the architecture diagram, though, initially, what did we do here, guys? Initially, this guy, he is going ahead and he is trying to access the VM. But this VM is associated with what? It is associated with the disk, it is associated with the security group, it is associated with the network. But this guy, poor fellow, he can't see it. He can't see it. Why? Why? Because I granted him privileges only at the server level. Now, you tell me, if this user wants to see all the dependent components of my virtual machine, now at what level do I need to grant the privilege for this user?
Resource group level.
Resource group level.
Subscription level.
If you give at the subscription level, then he can see everything, right? But I don't want everything. So hence, this is server. This is server belongs to what, guys? This server belongs to my
Resource group.
Source group.
resource group. Now, all my resources like my network interface, my public IP, my subnet, my VNet, my storage, or all these components, are they part and parcel of my resource group? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, if I am giving my Suresh user access at resource group level, then can he have visibility on all these resources? Yes or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Yes. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's release Suresh user to have access for at least one resource group. Now what we have to do? We have to go and we have to search for resource groups. We have to search for resource groups, or else you can click a resource group directly here. You have a name, right? Click on the resource group directly. Now, do we see our resource group resources, guys? What are all the different resources that I have? See here carefully. I have server 1, I have server 1 IP, server 1 NSG, server 1 VNet, server 1 interface, server 1 disk. Out of all these things, we give privilege only to server 1. Now you guys understand importance of having your RBAC at resource level, resource group level. Now what do we have? We are having these many resources. I will say like, man, who will give individually for all these resources and all? I don't want. Let me give at the resource group level. I'll go to my resource group and I will select my IAM. Guys, any other doubts, guys, from anyone? Any doubts that you have? Same thing, guys. Option wise, nothing changes. As usual, only the scope changes. Now the scope is resource group. I'll go to privileged administrator. I'll select a contributor. I'll click on next. What is the user? User is my KSR Suresh. I'll go ahead and I'll select my KSR Suresh and I'll select next. Click on next. Review and assign. Now, if you want to see what privileges are allocated, you can go ahead and you can search for it. KSR Suresh. So he's a contributor. At what level, guys? At what level this time?
Resource group.
Very nice, Asha. Resource group level. Now I have allocated the privileges. What I will do, I will refresh the login. I will refresh the login. So now what is happening? Now Suresh can able to see public IP address. Suresh user can able to see network. Suresh can be able to see what are and all the resources are available under the resource group. What is a resource group? Resource group is a KSR batch 1 RG1. But one question for you. Can he able to see server 2?
No.
Think of it, guys. Think of it
No.
wisely and tell me, can he able to see server 2? Huh?
No.
No.
Answer is no. So he can able to see only his application related things. What he can do? He can go ahead and he can see only his application related things. He cannot see all other items. He cannot see all other items. Now, if this user would like to have a privilege to see other components, let's say like I want to entertain Suresh user to have access to server 2. I want to grant Suresh user to have access to server 2. Then can any one of you tell me what should we do?
We should give him permission at resource group 2 level.
Resource group 2 level. Now imagine like server, imagine like a Suresh user is an administrator. Suresh user is an administrator. Then you want to have access to all the servers across the account. Then at what level you will give the privilege?
Subscription level.
Nice. So now if you want to give him server 2 level access, then you can give him access at the resource group. But if this user is expecting to have access to all the resources in the account, then you can simply jump onto your subscription. Under the subscription, in my case, mine is pay as you go. I will go and I will select access control IAM. I will say add a role assignment. I'll say add a role assignment. Privilege administrator. I'll say contributor. Click on next. Select the member. In my case, who is the member? Member is KSR Suresh. I'll select the user. Click on select. I'll say review and assign. I'll say review and assign. Now assignment is completed. Means right now what am I doing, guys? I'll go ahead and I'll see my user. Who is the user? KSR Suresh. So this time this guy got access to what? Access to at what level we granted him the privileges, guys? Tell me.
Subscription.
Subscription level.
Subscription
Good.
level.
Now when we refresh the page, okay. So guys, sometimes what will happen is like Azure AD, in order to sync, it takes some time. So you can wait and then you can see the result. If you can't wait, then do a relogin. Then do a relogin. So now when you guys are relogging in, when you are relogging in, now can Suresh user or is Suresh user having access to both the servers, guys? Can he able to see?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So now this is what your RBAC stands for, role based access control, where the scope is, if you want you can give it at a resource level, if you want you can give it at your resource group level, or if you want you can give it at your subscription level. So this is the level of permissions that we are going to grant for an individual user. Okay, so now imagine a situation that I have a brand new requirement is like, I have a new user called Venkat. Venkat have recently joined the company. He is a L1 engineer, or let's say like Venkat is a fresher. Venkat is a fresher. Now to Venkat, can I go ahead and can I assign contributor permission, guys? What do you feel?
Mm.
Can we give contributor? Hmm?
Yes.
If you give contributor, what are the different things that a
No.
contributor can do, guys? Can he able to create?
Mm.
Tell me the answers. Can he able to create contributor? Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Contributor can able to create. Contributor, can he able to delete?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
No. No.
Contributor, can he able to modify? Yes. In simple terms, contributor have everything except,
Assigning a new user.
very nice, except assigning the privileges to the other user, everything he can do it. Now such kind of a role, can I give it to a fresher?
No.
No.
No. So now, can I give him only read only?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can give. But poor fellow, fresher, right? When he will learn, he also need to learn something, right? If I'm giving only read only, what he will see? He will see all the time servers. So now I need to give him a new task. Task is like, task is like every day early morning 6 a.m. Venkat should log in and Venkat should restart couple of servers. What is the task, guys? Task is quite simple. I want Venkat to learn. I am not restricting Venkat. Hey, no, no, Venkat, you are a fresher. You should not do any work, man. Simply take the salary and go home. Hmm? So I cannot say like that, right? But I want Venkat to grow,
Yes.
but not immediately, not in a single day or a two. I want him to grow substantially, slowly, one by one, phase by phase. So now I need to provide a privilege to Venkat, saying like, hey Venkat, early morning, once you come to the shift or once you come to the office, first thing what you have to do is restart these two servers. Apart from restart, this guy should not have any privilege. Now, such kind of an access can I provide with these RBAC, with read contributor and then owner? Can I give custom permissions, guys, to a user? Is that something possible? What do you feel? Can you give it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Uh, there is, there is no, which means read contributor owner. Can you modify? Hmm? Can you
No.
modify these roles or
No.
these permissions?
No.
Answer is big no. That's the reason in your next class you are going to learn custom roles. What is your next topic? Your next topic is custom roles. How do I create my own role? These are all what? These are all default roles. Yesterday I told you, right? These are all what? These are all the default roles. But what I need customization. I need customization. Let Azure give me read contributor owner. I don't care. If they are giving, we will consume it. If they are giving, we will consume it. But my requirement is what? My requirement is customization. Whatever I need it, do I have in the read contributor and owner roles? Whatever the requirement that I want, do we have that requirement in the read contributor owner? What?
Mm, no.
No. The answer is no. Can I say like Venkat, no, no, no. There is no option provided in the Azure. You go and you take the contributor. Can you give
Sean,
contributor?
your voice is
Venkat?
breaking.
My voice is breaking, madam.
Yes, yes.
Now is it good? Or still
Yes.
breaking?
No.
Guys, is it same for everyone?
Yes, yes, same.
Same. Okay, that's fine, guys. We'll close the session. So, what is our role, guys? See, our action item is like ensuring providing a privilege to the end user using our custom roles. So, this is the concept in your next class. So, this is very, very important topic, guys. So, let's connect by next Monday. Have a great weekend ahead, guys. If you have any doubts, please stay back and clear your doubts. Otherwise, we are good to go for today. Okay. Any doubts, guys, from anyone? Sasha, can you able to hear me, madam?
Yes, now I can hear Sean.
That's
So I
great.
have a doubt. Like this Entra ID is same as like I am user creation in AWS.
Perfectly right, madam. Same concepts, but different implementation, different vendor.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Good, madam. Good, good.
So we can create a number of users with this Entra ID
Yes, yes,
in
you're
in the
absolutely
in
right.
the Entra ID.
Yes, you can go ahead and you can create a users. Like you see in my console, right? My console is flooded with the users, right?
Yes, yes.
So I have many users because I've took so many batches earlier. So I have so many users, So all these are all the different user IDs that which we create based upon the need.
I
Thank
have
you.
one question. If we want to
Venkat,
create more than 100 users at a time, means how do we create? For example.
see, generally, Venkat, at this point of time, we are learning only cloud, right?
Okay, okay.
Okay. So in the cloud, as of today, we have two options. One is like create a user manually, only one user at a time,
Okay,
or else they support an option called bulk user creation with Excel sheet.
okay, okay.
Okay. See, when I go here, I can go and I can select my Entra ID under the user section. So I have an option called bulk operation. So you have bulk create.
Okay.
So in the
Yeah.
bulk create, what happens is like they will give one Excel. You need to download and you need to update it. But I don't like this option as well. Okay. So the
Okay.
general way of creating users should be via automation, not manual. So in the future classes, I will teach you Terraform. So which
Okay.
will give you
Yeah.
ability of creating any number of users, whatever you want, you can create it.
Okay. Yeah.
But for now, you do it manually. But in the later point of a time, most probably after a month or a two, we will start the automation. So during that time, I will explain you clearly, like how we are going to automate, how do we create hundreds of a users, or tens of numbers of a servers, how we are going to create, how we maintain all those things. You will learn slowly one by one. You will come to know in the course.
Okay.
Okay, fine guys then. If no doubts, I think we're good to go.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys. Great weekend as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Shan. Yeah, bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Shyam.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
See you guys.